Yeah. Oh, I love dancing to that music. Do you know what this is?
It looks like Bullwinkle.
Close. I do a Bullwinkle in our imitation challenge. Not Dusty, but go with the goodness of Cheerios, but watch where you're going. Do you
That's
do
really
a Bullwinkle?
good. That's good, man. That's good.
Do you do a Bullwinkle?
No, I don't do Bullwinkle.
So
no.
this is going to date me back, but back in the 60s, and there was a comedian named Soupy Sales.
I remember Soupy Sales.
And Soupy created a dance called the Mouse. Hey, do the mouse. Wow. Hey, you can do it in your house. That's what that is. That's fantastic, the mouse.
Man. Impressive.
How you feeling, Dr. Chris?
I feel much better, man. I still got a cough, but body wise, I feel good.
Oh wait, body wise,
I feel good, man. Yeah.
Let me see the body here. I'm glad you did that. You know why?
Why is that?
I want to start off talking about the body, not Jesse, AJ.
Oh, it's jacked.
Oh my goodness. You people out there probably had the same reaction I did, and probably Dr. Chris with, man, that was cracker jacked.
Yeah,
he was suntanned. He was really, he looked better than I've ever seen him. He didn't look like that hillbilly kid.
I don't know what's in the juice, but him and Randy are drinking the same juice.
I told him how to drink my sparkling ice.
Well, that's what it was. Him and Orton came out jacked, more jacked than ever too, man. Like they just both just gained like 30, 40 pounds. It seemed like a muscle.
Well, Orton looked like he gained pounds, but it didn't look like that sheer cut build of AJ Styles.
Yeah. Well, AJ was still jacked, but Randy Orton he looked bigger. Like he looked like a monster.
His face looked heavier too.
Yeah, like he's like Orton was usually just slim cut throughout his career. He started to get a little bit more bulkier. I mean, if you're looking at 05, 06 Orton, he was slim, man. You know, especially Evolution days. Around 2020, 2018, 19,
yeah.
He started to get bulkier, but now he's just
that Bruno Sammartino could never really pronounce his name, he'd say, "You know, this Horton guy." He always called him Horton.
Horton,
Here's a who. But he looked great, and I think, of course, now we have to discuss, and I'm not sure if we discussed it last week. You may need to refresh my memory. What are they going to do with him now that he was welcomed back, but he's gave an incredible clothesline to everybody's favorite, L.A. Knight.
So I did see the highlight of what happened there, and he returned, and I saw him walk backstage, and they try to do a comment backstage, and he refused to comment on what happened. So clearly it seems like AJ Styles versus LA Knight, probably Royal Rumble, probably day one. I mean, well, day one is a Raw thing, but I guess the next big pay-per-view is Royal Rumble. So do you do a blow-off using AJ Styles, though?
Or do you put AJ in the Rumble?
Yeah, but I mean, why would he turn on LA Knight to be in the Rumble, though?
See, isn't that great, by the way? Why did he turn against LA Knight? And the best thing about that is that everybody's talking about it, which is the whole reason behind why they do things. This stuck. Every wrestling fan that I've talked to in the past week is, why did they do it? But it's, why did he do it?
Sure. Yeah. It seems like we'll get AJ LA Knights Royal Rumble. Perhaps they needed someone to go against LA Knight since the Bloodline thing is kind of drifting away.
But shouldn't they both be in the Royal Rumble?
I mean, I don't think AJ in a marquee match at the Royal Rumble will be more important than being in the Royal Rumble.
Oh, I agree.
I don't see AJ winning.
However, they could both be in the Rumble, maybe the last 6 guys, and the 2 of them just go nuts on each other and fight back to the dressing room or something. Okay. And that could bring us toward WrestleMania time or toward the next pay-per-view. They could do that. But I'd like to see that I'm a wrestling fan too. I'd like to see that as a marquee match.
Sure. Now, if they do what you just said at the Royal Rumble, where does that lead to? Like the Perth? You don't. I mean, do you see AJ LA Knight at WrestleMania?
No, maybe at Perth. That'd be one of the great headline matches in Australia.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, AJ LA Knight Perth. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. And Bronson Reed.
Although I do think you. I mean, I do think it would make more sense. Yeah, I mean, I guess you do. I guess you do AJ, LA Knight.
It's one of 3 highlight matches. I think that because of he's an Aussie, and they were making remarks about this on last night's Monday Night Raw. Bronson Reed wants to go after Gunther, and what a great place to do it. Bronson Reed is from Australia.
So he'll get the babyface pop there.
Oh, I would think so too.
Yeah, I think I know who Gunther's, but I'll save that because I'm actually talking about that at Pancakes and Power.
No, go ahead.
I'm gonna talk. I'm actually talking about that at my other show, but I will say this. I'll say I think I have an idea of who should win the Royal Rumble. I have an idea, and of course, for those who the first precedent, want some precedents of your comment being shown on the screen, go ahead and put that super chat on there. Otherwise, we'll go over and see what we have. But I have an idea of who I want to win the Royal Rumble. Ready?
Okay.
All right. So I think the winner of the Royal Rumble should be Jey Uso. I think he should win the Royal Rumble. Because I do think that this bloodline thing has, like, it didn't land well. It hasn't landed well. It's been just kind of all over the place. Jimmy's just kind of been fodder. Uh, I mean, he was in a really good space in the bloodline storyline for a while. The
Yeah.
Usos were, period. And now you're just kind of doing like Roman Reigns is coming back to do Order of Business, and he's making Solo heir apparent, and now Jimmy's getting jealous. And yeah, I'm like, I mean, I just don't want to see it. If you want to bow to this this borderline bloodline storyline, I think what you do is you have Jey Uso win the Royal Rumble, and go against and pick Roman Reigns to be his opponent for WrestleMania. You have Jey.
I can't.
You have Jey and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, and you finish the story there with Roman Reigns and have Jey.
Well, I don't see that. When Jey Uso was on Raw last night, I'm trying to think who his opponent was. I'm going blank at the moment.
Ludwig Kaiser.
Right, Ludwig Kaiser. It was a good match, but main event Jey Uso, to me, didn't seem like main event Jey Uso. He got murdered in a lot of that match. He really did.
Yeah,
I don't see him as a choice for the Rumble. I see 3 or 4 other guys as the choice. I don't think the fans are going to. I think they love him. They adore him. He gets great pops.
He does.
But I do not think that him winning the Royal Rumble will be something that the fans will totally embrace.
I think they will, as far as the bloodline is concerned, because if you think about it right now, if you think of ovations, so to speak, Jey Uso, if you think about WrestleMania caliber pictures, moments, videos, highlight reels, someone like a Jey Uso, when they do the panoramic shot of the whole crowd doing that, I really like that from a production standpoint. I think that's really cool when they do that.
Yeah.
Just imagine 70,000 people, and they have a big panoramic and they celebrating and they do that hands up and down thing. I think from a highlight reel perspective, you do that. And the bloodline has been the best storyline going for a long time now. And it really didn't have a conclusion to it. I mean, it's just.
But he can be in an event, in a main sort of event on night 1 or night 2.
What do you
think? Without winning the Rumble, and they can still get that production footage.
Where do you think I think they see, my thing is push someone different. I'm tired of just all of these people who, like, how are you building new stars if you keep pushing the same ones over and over again?
It depends. Right now, they're putting over who is going to be strong enough for WrestleMania. That's what they're pushing. Of course, there's Punk, there's Cody, there's LA Knight. I think one of the last guys in the Rumble, if he's in the Rumble, the way they push to Dominic Mysterio, I think he's going to be in toward the end, but he's not going to win it. So I'm looking at.
I don't think
it's what everybody is thinking. It's probably got to be CM Punk, since he declared that he's now in the Royal Rumble. Yeah. I think he's going to be the favorite to win. But then again, if they want to throw a real surprise into the ending, then Jey Uso would be that surprise.
I like that. I mean, I think Jey Uso would be a big surprise. Now, Punk winning, I don't think he needs to. I think Jey Uso would need to win the Royal Rumble to break that next level, and it makes sense. I mean, like he left all the bloodline stuff. If he wins, he has the chance to go back to Roman. I'm not interested in Cody Roman for the second year. I mean,
but now with Punk,
if Cody wins again,
but Punk is face to face with Seth Rollins last night, and he declared that he's in the Rumble and he's going to win it and go after Seth Rollins. That's the match the fans want to see. So why not?
Now, what you could do though, I just don't want to see Punk win the Royal Rumble. It's not necessary. Like what I think should happen is, you know, somehow someone's in the Royal Rumble, or even Seth's in it, or Seth comes out and distracts Punk. You have that, and I think what you should do is you should have Punk win the Chamber at Perth. You know, you have a number one contenders match for the World Heavyweight Championship, because by that time the Universal Championship would have been decided by the winner, which I think should be Jey Uso. If they say if Jey Uso wins, he decides, okay, I'm going Roman, I'm going Universal Championship. And then that leaves open the World Heavyweight Championship. You need a number one contender there. It's the event is Elimination Chamber. You have 6 people in the chamber. The winner of the chamber becomes number one contender. You can easily do Punk.
Yeah, but wait, that doesn't make sense to me, because the winner of the Royal Rumble becomes the automatic number one contender for the World or the Universal or the Intercontinental belt, whichever one he wants to go after.
No, they want a main event WrestleMania. What I'm saying is have the WrestleMania. Well, they've done number one contenders matches at Elimination Chamber all the time.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is you have the Royal Rumble winner choose by that. So by the time Perth comes, the Royal Rumble winner already has the choice, like already chooses for Roman Reigns. So that leaves, since Roman Reigns the choice, that leaves the World Heavyweight Champion without an opponent for WrestleMania. So what you do is you have the World Heavyweight Championship be a number one contenders match for the Elimination Chamber.
They could do that, but I don't see that.
I think Punk should win.
I think it might be too predictable that Punk is going to win it. That's very predictable, and they might go with predictable to satiate the fans.
Well, him winning either the Rumble or the Elimination Chamber, I think that the Elimination Chamber would make more sense, because you don't need that. You like the Royal Rumble to me is the person who's like upper mid card that, you know, is breaking that, you know, that glass ceiling and needs that one extra push. And winning the Royal Rumble is that one extra push. Like when Drew McIntyre won it a few years ago.
I know what you're talking about.
That was perfect, because at that time he wasn't necessarily a main eventer, but he was on the rise, and he was a heel at that time. You know, he was with Dolph Ziggler for a while, and they were tag champs. He was breaking away from that. People just started to organically cheer for him a little bit when he was a heel. He was still a heel at that Royal Rumble event.
Yeah.
But when he eliminated Brock Lesnar, the fans went bananas, and that really helped his babyface run. And it also helped him turn the corner and break that ceiling to get into that main event.
I agree, but I just
same with Austin, same with Michaels. Like both of them were the same way.
I just do not see Jey Uso in that spot. I may be totally wrong, but I'm just telling you my feeling.
Yeah, sure. I can respect that.
I don't know how I'd feel if he won it. I don't know if I'd have that. Whoa. I mean, he's great. I love him. Great personality, great worker in the ring. Legend, the legend in the making here. The bloodline, everything. But I don't see him being elevated into the spot of the winning the Royal Rumble.
I think that I can respect that. I do think that your feelings may change if he wins. I think that you may be intrigued to see where it goes. Because
you know what? I'm going to ask you a question.
Sure.
I am willing on the air here to, if Jey Uso wins, I will buy you a $20 gift certificate to the restaurant of your choice.
Wow.
If he doesn't win, what do you think?
He just doesn't win. I'm not willing to bet on Jey Uso. I just think that he's
That's it, folks.
I want
He's
him
not
to
that
win.
sure.
Yeah. I want him to win. He probably won't, but I think he should. I don't know. Punk to me just doesn't need to. He doesn't need to win the Royal Rumble. To me, I'm not a big fan of wrestlers, main event wrestlers winning Royal Rumble.
I agree with you, but
you don't need it. You can just cut a promo and be in the world title. You don't need to win the Royal Rumble. You know what I mean? Like I don't see the.
And who's the other surprise? Not surprise that we haven't seen, but who's the other guy that we might not think would win the Royal Rumble, but would drive the fans crazy? That would be LA Knight if he's in there.
I think LA Knight's kind of cooling off, man. But I do think. I've seen it. I mean, from what I've seen, he's
a little bit, but the fans still pop.
I mean, the fans still pop from, but I definitely think he's cooling off, which I don't like. I mean, why not strike while they're on top? But I get it though. He still needs some time. He still needs some reps, and I respect the fact that they're not going too fast with him. And but he is kind of cooling off a little bit.
Did CM Punk cool his push off? Do you think that Punk coming back?
No, because he's on Raw.
Okay.
Yeah, perhaps Orton would be a better argument of perhaps.
Oh yeah,
because he's on SmackDown. But I do think he was cooled off a little bit more because I mean I was there when SmackDown was live, and the reaction wasn't that big. Mm-hmm. I mean, like it wasn't as big as it was, at SummerSlam and weeks before. He is cooling off. I do think what would be a good spot for him at WrestleMania would be against Logan Paul. I think that would be the
I do spot. Too. I'm not going by brand here. I'm going by when Punk did he steal the show from LA Knight. I'm talking about WWE as a whole, where now people are not thinking of LA Knight like they might have before Punk came back. Punk comes back, and all anybody is thinking at that point is Punk and Randy Orton.
No, I don't think so, because Punk isn't there every week. Like Punk has missed 2 shows since he's.
You don't need him there. There's still a buzz that he's there.
Right, but at the same time, like people are starting to, because even when Seth mentioned his name, people started booing a couple of times.
Some of them did, yes.
Yeah. So I do think that he's not as like. I don't understand why they're doing that. I don't understand why he's not there. Like put him there. I mean, he's the buzzing topic. Again, I go back to the algorithms, Bill. If something's hot and trending, why take it off the shelf? Like I just like if you have a bestseller book, right? Why take it off the shelf? That doesn't make any type of sense to me whatsoever.
I know one.
That the trending books are being taken off the shelf.
Yeah, I know. I totally get it. But I'm going to go back to your original thought with Jey Uso, is that the pop that he gets could determine him winning, even though I don't think it will. But I think the mindset of the fans that follow AEW and WWE, their mindset is CM Punk, see whether he's there or not.
Well, he hasn't been getting a lot of chance though. Like he doesn't get chance. Like he doesn't get random chance throughout the week.
Yeah, but he did when he was face to face with Seth Rollins.
That's a random chance. That's not a random chance.
No, not random. But when he was there and Rollins was doing an incredible promo on him, and he just said, "Are you done?" I mean, the CM Punk.
Right, but even when Rollins was cutting a promo, they weren't chanting his name.
No, they were listening to him because his promo, that was one of the best promos I've seen. That was an incredible promo.
You talking about Seth?
Seth, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Rollin $9.99.
Hey, Rollin, welcome back.
I don't like when a career-long tag team performer skips the mid-card titles and jumps straight into the main event. World titles, Drew McIntyre, Shawn, Austin, Brett, Booker all won mid-card titles first. Now, I like that. I've said that for years. I agree with that. I agree with the fact that I'm old school, and I agree with the fact that people should jump. People should go through the list to go through, and get that mid card title. But not everybody, though. Like, I think that they've put so much stock in him as a character throughout the past 3 years.
In who?
In Jey.
Yeah.
That I do think that it just makes sense if he goes back to the Bloodline storyline, because we're already in a storyline with the Bloodline. I think going back to that puts a bow in it, because otherwise the story just falls flat. Well, like, let me ask you this, Bill.
Maybe it's wait. Let you what?
Let me ask you this, Bill. Let me ask you this.
You told me to stop.
Yes. Let me ask you this. So let me ask you this. What is the payoff? Like, from all of that, what is the payoff in the 3+ years of the Bloodline? What you would say the payoff in the midst of all that started like around, fall of 2020, I believe. Yeah, because they were still the Thunderdome. So this 3+ years of the Bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
What's the payoff? What's been the payoff?
The big payoffs have happened in the Bloodline. To me, it's been the decline. It's been the split up of the Usos in there. It's been bringing Solo in to be a solo performer. It's put Roman Reigns on a pedestal, but it can end. It can go downhill, and then it can come up. They can come up with maybe some other Samoan people who are ready to come into the Bloodline. And I know, but you don't have to put a wrap on the package. You can keep Roman Reigns champion, make it a very exciting match, whoever he's going against, but you can still keep him as the champion.
But angles have payoffs, though.
They don't have to have a payoff. They don't.
Name me an angle.
Not one that long. Not one that long. I think there have been a ton of payoffs already with the Bloodline, with all the situations going up and down. But I don't see I see the end with somebody beating Roman Reigns, but I don't think the WWE is ready to do that yet.
But every angle has a payoff, storyline wise. That's storyline. That's comic book. That's
but I don't see a payoff for the Bloodline at this point, except someone turning their back, someone else, maybe Jimmy Uso, also agreeing with his brother eventually, and the two of them getting back together again. That would be a happy payoff. But Roman stays champion.
You think that would be a suitable payoff to a 3 and almost, going?
I don't know what would a suitable payoff be?
That they make someone a babyface star from the Bloodline. So I think the payoff would be like Roman Reigns has been champion for 3 years.
There's no one in the Bloodline strong.
They can make them that way. Is what I'm saying. They should make them that way. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're not strong enough because they're booked not to be strong. Jey Uso he's not booked strong. Character-wise, he's good.
It could have been
Solo as a babyface is not a good idea.
Yeah, but it could have been.
But not as a babyface, though.
You can change anybody if you change the opponent and the situation. You really can. You really can.
What do you mean?
You can change anybody. Solo can be attacked by another heel or someone in the Bloodline that doesn't agree with him, and all of a sudden he breaks away and he wants Roman, he wants Jimmy Uso
as a babyface.
Yeah, I mean, he could.
Not with his mic work.
Yeah, but the thing is that the fans choose whether he becomes a babyface or not. It's in their reaction. It always has been.
It hasn't. No, it hasn't. I mean, I'll
go back to Hulk Hogan. I'll go back to Hogan and The Rock.
Right, because good storylines carved them to, like good storylines will manipulate fans. Good storylines and good characters will manipulate fans any day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Like nowadays, the problem is the fans control everything. That's what makes pro wrestling so brutal to watch a lot of times, because you have a ton of time, because you have a lot of wrestlers who aren't necessarily characters who are trying to get the fans' reaction and is getting injured all the time. So, I mean, that's the problem with pro wrestling nowadays. If you leave, especially with these fickle style fans nowadays who are just like flash in the pan, we'll like you today, we'll hate you tomorrow.
Yeah,
like,
but wait a minute.
That's a very poor way to book wrestling.
Any fan think that Jey Uso was going to be a babyface? If you asked me that a year and a half ago, I'd say if they want to make him a babyface, they can find a way to do it.
But the storyline was really good to make it work. Yes, you did. Like Jey Uso, like you knew that there was going to be a breakout person from the Bloodline because, even last summer, it's been months, nearly 6 months since Jey Uso beat Roman, and even before then, it was some dissension there. So it was a long, drawn out storyline.
It was.
And I like that. I mean, that's where a payoff should be.
But who's next? Who's next? Could it be?
It should be Jey. That's what I've been saying.
Could it be Solo if they do it slowly, like they did, and he decides that he wants to be with Jey Uso instead? Instant babyface.
Solo's mic work is
instant babyface.
Mic work is not good. Like I don't think you got to be a good talker. You got to be a good talker.
Jey Uso is his mouthpiece.
Why? Like why would Jey Uso be Solo's mouthpiece? Why don't you just have Jey Uso be his own mouthpiece?
I want to change the topic. We're running late on time.
Yeah,
so I want to change the topic because I don't want to not address this. I love doing this, by the way.
Before you do that, I got a super chat. This that's related to what our topic. Okay. All right, Rollin back in the.
Oh, he's back.
Yes, he agrees with what I'm saying. Brock Lesnar skipped the mid-card title. Yes.
Yep.
So did The Undertaker. Jey is no Brock, but perhaps Jey could use the Bloodline storyline to bypass the mid-card title. It's just that so much Bloodline steam has been lost. I 100% agree with that.
I agree too. Bloodline steam being lost. Yep.
Bingo. 100% agree with that. Because one, I do think he can use the Bloodline storyline to skip that because he's been in it so long. But I do think the Bloodline steam has cooled off tremendously. Yes.
I don't think he's at that level to be the challenger.
But I think like Daniel Bryan wasn't at the level before he became at the level though.
Yeah, I know.
Like that's the thing. Like if it's booked, Kofi Kingston, it was an organic thing. Like there's so many people who weren't at that level before they went to that level. You know what I mean? And so if they're booked properly, people can buy in. So.
Okay, I just figured out who's going to win the Royal Rumble.
Who's that?
R-Truth.
Oh, I'm game. I'm game.
You and me both.
Yeah, I love R-Truth.
You and me both.
All right, let's
I just want to mention that I was shocked on Monday Night Raw that the Creed brothers, who I have pushed on our show so many times as the next coming of the Steiners, incredible performance. They should have gotten the tag team belts. I know they're bland and they're not the most personable guys in the whole world, but what they do in the ring, if it's wrestling, these guys are the best. They're fabulous.
I'm very impressed with their quality of work in the ring, but I'm not interested in people getting championships because they're good wrestlers.
Yeah, no, I feel it. That's why I said the personality's got to be worked on.
Yeah, and I've said that for weeks. I like their matches. They're fantastic in the ring. It's just that they don't. I mean, who are the Creed brothers? You know what I mean? Like,
by the way, Brutus looks like Glacier.
He does.
Looks
Julius looks like. See, the thing is, man, Julius looks like. That's the thing with tag team wrestling, man. It's like try to match them up as much as possible. I like both of them.
I do too.
But man, Julius has got a spark to him, man. That's like
Yeah.
If he breaks out, he's got that look. He's super athletic.
Yeah.
He's a All-American wrestler. You know what I mean? Like he looks the part of a really big star in the making. You know what I mean? So it's like, you want to be careful with that. I'm glad that Brutus is basically the core of the finishing move with the Brutus Bowl.
Yep.
I'm glad that they're kind of highlighting him, because that's good to do that, because if they try to break out Julius, I think that Julius would really do some really good work by him.
Do you think, one last topic, do you think that our guy, R-Truth, is helping or hurting the Judgment Day? Because I like the interference now, because it's putting Mommy at odds even more so with Damian Priest.
I think it hurts the Judgment Day. I think it's a comedy act, and they were supposed to be some serious, tyrant type of we're taking over group. But here's the thing, man. I'm a sucker for R-Truth, first of all.
Me too.
And second of all, it's like you needed some type of injection in this judge. I'm done. I'm done with the Judgment Day. I'm bored with it. I'm over it. As far as the Judgment Day is concerned, and it's just, it's been stale for months, man. And so it does inject some type of life into it. Not necessarily the best injection, but at the same time, it does give us some type of something. So
yeah.
All right, we got to roll, man. Let the listeners know where to find you, my man.
Oh, you can find me on, eventually they'll put my Twitter handle here, at Apter1 Wrestling.
Yes,
It's
indeed.
APTER, the number one in the word wrestling. And on Sportskeeda Wrestle Binge on the Time Machine with Holla Teddy Long and Mad Mac Davis. And right here on UnSKripted, and a lot of new stuff coming up.
Yes, indeed. Will Ryback ever come back to the WWE?
I never say never anymore. CM Punk never was coming back.
There you go. This guy right here is Bill Apter.
This guy over here is Dr. Chris.
Indeed. This is UnSKripted. What's your go ahead and say your tagline?
I'll see you at the matches.
And I'll say my tagline.
Yeah, go for it.
So long.